You've been doing a lot of them.
That's what the cat said. Perfect. Hello, friends. It's Miss Hazel.
And Miss Kate.
And here we are back to do something else. Guess what? Fun. Okay. About 10 years ago, probably, Miss Kate and I, we like to find things and turn them into new things. And that is why today we are going to teach you how to make a clock record. A record album clock.
Yes.
Okay. Which in a way that we did it. You could decorate yours all different ways. But in case friends that don't remember when we used to get our music like this, the album would come in a cover like this, and then you'd look on the side, and then you'd open it up, and it'd be in a sleeve, and then
Carefully pull
carefully,
out.
because you don't want to scratch it, because all these tiny little grooves is what made the music. And this is a kind of old classic one, if anybody, kind of my age is watching this. It also smells a little musty. So I looked online and I found a company that sold do-it-yourself clock insides. So they came with this little kit. It came in a little box like this with all these different parts. And the base of it is this. So I realized the record album was a tiny bit too small. So my friend Joyce, who's a crafty gal herself, let us borrow this. It's a little Dremel and it's a drill. So it's kind of a small drill. We also, when I was trying to figure out how to make this project, I did use sandpaper wrapped around a tiny little wooden stick, and I did it quickly like that. But if we had to make like 40, so I didn't want to do that. But if you're making one at home, you don't have to get a Dremel. You could just use sandpaper around a little stick. So what you're going to do, Dremel's like a little drill. So you're going to, it's going to be a little loud.
Okay.
I'm kind of going around and around to make my circle bigger. Okay, then we're going to test it.
Let's see if the piece goes through. Oh, good idea.
Oh, perfect.
You're really good at this.
Oh,
You've been doing a lot of
that's
them.
what the cat said. Perfect. Everybody heard that from me all summer, so I'm sorry if you had to hear that all summer. I just think it's really funny.
It is pretty funny.
Do you know what the cat's favorite color is, Miss Kate?
Is it purple?
It is. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
All right, back to work. We were trying to figure out how to do this, and Miss Kate, our brilliant friend, thought, what if we cut out foam circles? Oh, you can actually see it's working. Look at this. Look at the second hand. So cool. We had these foam sheets, and the first thing we needed to do was sort of figure out what size. Miss Kate had this funny little glass circle, so we used...
I used a bunch of different sizes, and that seemed to work the best.
Seemed to be the best. So it's a clock, and there are 12 numbers on a clock. So how many circles do you need? 12. That is exactly correct. So we're going to trace 12 circles, and then here they are. 12 circles already
That's some
traced
fast tracing.
and cut up. I did some very fast tracing. And then I'm going to get my scissors, and then you can keep me company while I cut out my circles.
Okay. And if you didn't have the foam, do you think like acrylic paint could work?
I think
or a
acrylic paint.
pen?
I think that you could even use you could use paper.
Oh,
Like
and just
you
glue
could-
that on.
yeah.
Yes.
You could go to a reuse center. You could go, if you needed to get a record album, you could go to one of those secondhand stores like Goodwill or what's the other one?
Or Super Savers. Is that one that we have? Or is it just called Savers?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have 12. I have to count. Okay. Oh,
You
know
might, because you
what?
did one. Oh, you didn't cut that one out.
Yeah. Yes. Also, when I was doing this with little friends this summer, it's kind of like clocks. You want to know what time it is, right? So they go on a diagonal. So let's see. I'm going to make it facing me. Then the next thing we did was put numbers on them.
And what
So-
numbers are you putting on there?
I'm going to put 1 through 12. 12 goes up the tippity top. So since I have 2 purples, I'm going to make one of my purples at the top. I meant to bring a ruler. Do you know if we have a ruler in here, Miss Kate?
We might
Oh,
have it.
look at this.
Oh,
Oh, many things. Okay, because the ruler's going to help us keep it. You want your clock to be straight. Also clock-ish is fine. Okay, so there's then I would go this way
For your 3 and 9.
For my 3 and my 9. I'm going to go with the greenish for 3 and 9. And then I'm going to fill in. Each one of these is going to need 2 more. Kind of want to spread them around like that. Do I like my color combinations?
That looks great.
That looks pretty great, right?
Yeah.
So now that's how I have it. So then you're going to, I had all the kids line them up first, because if you start gluing, you want to draw your numbers first, and if you get it wrong, you can do your number on the other side. So this is going to be 12. And you know there's different ways to do 2. You could do 2 like that, or you could do 2 like that.
And this is a great way to learn how to tell time on an analog clock.
And 11 with fancy ones.
Do you want your clock to match? Do you want to turn your 12 into a fancy one also?
Oh, yeah, there's
I don't want
my
you to be sad
friend
later.
Miss Kate. I don't want to be sad. Okay. You also could use your Sharpie, and you could like decorate your numbers. Kind of, you could use different color Sharpies. You're getting the idea. We're giving you a starting point. Okay, now I feel like my numbers are in pretty good shape, so I'm going to glue them down with my friend Tacky Glue. How many minutes in a whole hour, Miss Kate?
There are 60 minutes. And we know that because 12 times 6 is 60. 12 times 5 is 60.
Oh my gosh, Miss Kate, you're giving people bad
Sorry,
math.
bad math.
And I was going along
I was just looking
with
at the
it.
6. 12 times 5 is 60.
Glue on number 8. Oh my gosh. Okay, now kind of the fancy part.
Yeah.
If you like, you can decorate it. I brought some buttons, and I brought some jewels. But here's the important part. When you get your kit, well, I ordered a box that had 7. But you can order just 1. Here's the crazy thing. There are different sizes for
the stems.
For the clearance of your arm going around. So I was telling my friends when they were putting a lot on it, be careful so your arm will go around. But you could use one that had a very high clearance to make sure your arms could go around. So you can decorate it a little bit. Maybe I'll put a heart up at 12 o'clock. It's kind of pretty. I'm going to go with 3 buttons. They're all kind of pretty, in no special order. And then maybe I'll put a couple jewels. Pretty nice one. Yep, perfect. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Okay, so now that's made. We have a little friend that was with us this summer whose name is Ava, and she forgot to take her clock home. So I'm going to put her clock together for you. Look how pretty her clock is. She put some gems, and she put some gems, and she has a flower, and she chose the hands of the clock. When you get the box, you'll get 12. This came with 7 interior mechanisms to make the clock work, and 10 different sets of hands. So if you can just see, this one is kind of
like a more traditional one,
white and sort of decoraty. There's a golden one with point. You get the idea. Now we're going to learn a little bit about the clock. So you're going to take the mechanism, and you're going to need a battery, and you need to make sure the plus goes with the plus and the negative with the negative. So put my battery in. Then, I don't know if you can see, that's how we knew it was working. The mechanism inside is working, and this is how you're going to set your clock after you get it put together. So now you've got your battery in, and you're going to put it down. There's a little bracket that goes on top, and you'll see it's got a little indentation on the battery pack. It goes there. Then you're going to need to put your washer down. Then you're going to take your record and make sure you're lining up this with your 12. And then you made your hole bigger so it's going down. Isn't Ava's clock beautiful?
Yeah, she did a really nice job.
Nice job. Then it's gonna give you a washer and a little nut to screw down. You can start it with your hands. Okay. Make sure I lined it up properly. Oopsie doodly. Okay. Little fiddly bit. Get it on there. There you go. Got it upside down the first time. Okay, so I'm going to do to the best of my abilities with my hand. Then I brought some little pliers, any kind of pliers, and you want to tighten it down. Also, I'm going to hold the bottom and make sure I've lined it up properly, and then tighten it down. And you might need a partner for this, but I will tell you that this summer the kids were able to do this themselves. Okay, so now this is the most wonderful and fun part. So the hour hand is the smallest of all the hands. And on your mechanism, you're going to push this down and it'll lock on to the little mechanism, okay? And it's close to like 230 right now. So that is going to go around one click. Like in 1 hour, it's going to go this far in 1 hour. Then this is your minute hand, and it will go around 1 minute. It'll move each time it goes around a minute. It will move. So in 5 minutes it will move this far. This blue one is going to move the slowest. The red one will move 1 minute every time the second hand goes around. And this is the second hand, and this is where it's the most fun. There's a little hole in here, and when you push it into the ear, to the little section, it trips it up, it locks in, and then it goes. Get in there, get it in there just right. Okay, I'm going to push it down. I'll feel it lock down. Oh, and watch that. This one is going to go around. In 1 minute, this one will go around and move this guy. When this guy goes around, it'll move this guy. And that's how an analog clock works.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is Ava's clock. We're going to go deliver it
happy.
to her this afternoon. Yeah. Okay, that is, it's so cool. We've had these record albums for so long, and to finally find a really fun thing to do with them, this was really great. So there you have it.
If you just flip a
And
little bit this way.
which way to go?
Oh, there you like
There
that.
you go. And now it's time for us to go.
All
Thanks
right.
for joining us.
Thanks,
Take care, everyone.
See you
Bye
next
now.
time.
Bye-bye.